In recent years, gender inequality in the workplace has become a hot-button issue. My guest, Dr. Toniya Singh, is here to offer solutions for how women can take ownership of their careers and become their own best advocates. And I think now more than ever do we need to know as women how we can advocate for ourselves, because gender inequality in the workplace, it's just a topic that seems it's ever present, isn't it?
And I think that it applies to all forms of jobs. I mean, women have had this issue for a long time. We have been paid less per hour than men for a very long time. I think since I'm a cardiologist, I like to talk about what I know and what I do. And we've had multiple studies even done in the cardiology world, in the world of medicine, that show that women are still getting paid less than men for exactly doing the same job. And I think that since we've proven this fact, it's time to do something about it. Right. I think as a intentionalist, as a person who wants to do something rather than complain about the status quo, my goal is to take the next step and see what we can do to make things better for ourselves. And there are a few things that we certainly can do.
Yeah, let's talk about it, because I mean, this comes up all the time, and I know I've said to you that we've had guests on who talk about advocating for women and for entrepreneurs and businesses, but it's the same sort of set of challenges. And so I want to hear sort of what some of your recommendations are for women to better advocate for themselves.
Yeah, so I think one of the big things we have to stop thinking about is think of ourselves as women. I think we need to start thinking of ourselves as individuals with special skills and training, and really work on focusing on that and thinking about what we can do to get the best out of what we know. I think it's very important for us to talk to our peers, to not be afraid to ask questions that may feel sometimes uncomfortable, and not be afraid to also go onto the internet, which is available to everybody, and look at stuff on there which tells us about how much people make in every in a particular job, in a particular region. I think having that knowledge as a starting point is a good thing to know. It's no different than knowing something about your child's report card. I think it's just as important to do that. So I think getting out there, getting to speak with your peers, getting to learn more information about the job that you're looking for, making sure you read your contracts well, making sure you ask advice from other peers, or whether they're local or whether they're national.
When you mentioned thinking of yourself not as an individual versus as a woman first, do you think of that as a situation where you're entering the workplace and you're sort of noticing things going on and you think, is it because I'm a woman? Are you saying don't have that thought instantly?
Right. I think one of the good things about living in 2016 is I think we do have many rights that we didn't have before. And I think we have made great progress in many ways. And I think we should not be the ones holding ourselves back. I think we should consider ourselves well-trained, smart individuals who are there to do a great job, and not worry about putting barriers in our own head. So I think that is something that as women we do. We tend to make sure that we are 100% certain of everything we want to know before we apply for a job or we ask for a raise. And I think sometimes just accepting that you are very good and there is no harm in going there and applying for a job that you think you could do well at without being 100% prepared for it. I think it's just psychologically something we do as women, but I think we can get past that barrier.
And I think people should know part of the reason that you were here to speak about this is you have a lot to draw off of in your own professional life. You work in a practice where you are the only female cardiologist.
I am.
Correct?
I work with 14 other cardiologists who are all wonderful men, and I think that's why it's important to take the pressure away from men having to do something for you, whereas you having to advocate for yourself. And I have found this in my practice over the last 13 years that I've worked there. Every time that I have an issue and I advocate for it, I get the results I want. It is not anybody else's job to be looking out for your problems. It is your own job to be understanding what your problems are and then finding a solution and then advocating for yourself. And I think sometimes knowing other women who are in a similar situation helps you to talk to them, because they may have already done this work and they may be able to give you advice on how to proceed with it. And I think if you come from a place of, this is my issue, this is how I think I can come up with a solution, people are much more likely to go through with it rather than someone who always has a problem but never a solution.
Right. Well, no, you brought up mentorship, and I want to get back to that when we come back after our break. But for right now, we've got the information. If you want to reach out to Dr. Singh, her practice is St. Louis Heart and Vascular. You can go to their website, slhv.com, or call the number on your screen, 314-741-0911. But we're going to take a quick break, but we're going to have more with Dr. Singh and hear some of her recommendations right after this. Please stay with us.